Joining me now by Skype to talk about the economic impact of the coronavirus is Joel Griffith, Research Fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Joel, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Joel, so President Trump and the leaders of the other G7 countries spoke today to discuss the pandemic. How important do you think cooperation is on a global level to calm the world's economic markets? They've been pretty volatile lately.
It's very important. It's very important that governments are cooperating together, particularly with the flow of information, because we want to minimize the impact this is having both here, but we also want to ensure that we can get our economy back on a stable footing, which means being able to have people traveling and goods traveling. And what we saw about a month and a half ago coming out of China with the lack of transparency, that really hurt the Chinese economy. It hurt the Chinese people, and that's going to have repercussions and is having repercussions across the globe. So we're hoping that the G7 leaders avoid those types of mistakes by working together.
Joel, here in the U.S., several rate cuts have been taken by the Federal Reserve. As you know, Congress is working on a stimulus package, but so far no boost. How effective can fiscal policies be when businesses are closed to help prevent the spread of the virus?
We're really glad to see Congress working to make some progress on these issues. We think that the legislation coming out of the House over the weekend, that had some positives in it, including a way to go ahead and compensate businesses during just this period of time, as you're trying to get through this, to compensate them to keep employees on the payroll instead of laying them off. But really, we're talking about a virus and the fear that's keeping people from going out and shopping, and a lot of precautions that have to be taken in a number of situations. Social distancing is important. We have to take precautions. But the fact is, providing fiscal stimulus or monetary stimulus, that doesn't change the fact that we still are countering and trying to contain this. So really, until we can get our hands around that, contain the virus, and resume some of that normalcy, we're going to see some economic impact.
Yeah, recession, that's a word that's been floating around a lot lately, and no surprise that people are worried about a recession right now. Do you think that's where we're headed, Joel? And if so, do you think it could be similar to the global financial crisis of 2008?
There is a danger of recession because we're seeing such impact across so much of our economy, particularly in the service center, restaurants, of course. In many states, you're not able to actually go sit down in a restaurant or go to a bar, and even some retail stores. So that is going to be a drag on economic growth, no doubt about it. We're already seeing some of that in some of the real-time numbers coming out of year-over-year sales at restaurants. So that is going to be an issue. There is a difference, though, between this and 2008, because this crisis, we're starting out a position of strength. Our underlying economy was strong, unlike when going into the financial crisis, we were so overextended in so many bubbles. So in this situation, so long as we're able to contain this and then return to normalcy, I think we're going to be in a better situation to have a quicker recovery. And plus, let's not forget the progress we made on policy with the tax reform, with regulatory reform. We've seen a lot of positives. And so when it comes to actually recovering from this, I think we're going to be in a much better situation than we were 11 years ago.
Okay, Joel, thank you so much for your insight. We really appreciate it. Joel Griffith, Research Fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Thanks again for your insight.
Thanks.